All right, so a couple of days ago, Khabib Nurmagomedov went out and did an interview, and he once again took a massive opportunity to take a gigantic dump on the country of Ireland. He basically said Ireland aren't very good when it comes to fighting, okay?
Shut up!
Now, let's remember, the man has a bit of a feud with Ireland. Khabib, of course, one of the greatest of all time, an incredible fighter, 29-0, and his coaching career might go on to be even more legendary. And he was talking about one of his fights recently, and of course, with the rivalry with Conor McGregor, he's not the biggest fan of Ireland as a place or their people or their fighters, right? Let's remember, back in the day at UFC 205, after he beat Michael Johnson, he got on the microphone, he's like, brother, Ireland, 5 million people, Russia, 150 million people. Give me the chicken.
I want to fight with your chicken because this is #1 easy fight in lightweight division.
And he went on talking a ton of shit. They had the fight. He got the win in the 4th round. It was the biggest pay-per-view in UFC history. And Khabib retired 29-0, undefeated, right? Legendary stuff, okay? Now he's coaching his cousin, Usman Nurmagomedov, who is undefeated just like he was, just like Umar Nurmagomedov. And he's a champion in another organization, the PFL or Bellator or whatever it is these days.
Who cares? Who cares?
And he's going up against an Irishman, so he took an opportunity to take another bit of a dump on the country.
Brother, Ireland don't have fighters.
Brother, Ireland don't have fighters.
Let's be honest. How many fighters do you know from Ireland? Paul Hughes and Conor?
Let's be honest. How many fighters from Ireland do you know? Now, look, listen, when you talk about Ireland in UFC terms, the first name that comes to mind is Conor McGregor. Of course, he's the first name that comes to the mind of most people, okay? If you're a casual, if you don't know much about UFC, you might mention UFC to someone, they'll say, what? That thing that Conor McGregor does, right? But there's been a lot of great Irish fighters over the years. Cathal Pendra back in the day, Rhys McKee, of course, Ian Machado O'Gara, he's doing great things as well. 18-1, I think he is now, just lost a very close fight to Shavkat Rakhmonov, right? And of course, when it comes to boxing, Ireland has been producing tremendous boxing talent for generations, for years and years and years. When I was a kid, Barry McGuigan was the man. You got Steve Collins, you got Katie Taylor, who's doing big things right now. Of course, Wayne McCullough back in the day. And by the way, if you go on the streets of Ireland, you go downtown Dublin and you're trying to look for a fight, you're going to find one pretty quickly. They are certainly not a country to mock when it comes to fighting, okay? And I know, because half my family's Irish. My mum is Irish, and I got loads of Irish family. So, anyway, Khabib wasn't done. Here's what else he had to say.
You come Dagestan, you can understand. You know, so many organizations, they don't even sign Dagestan fighters because they worry about, like, everybody can become champion, you know? But Dagestan, and let's be honest, Dagestan level of MMA here, at Ireland level, not even half of Dagestan.
So there it is. He says, Dagestan level here, Ireland level, not even half, okay? And maybe that's true, okay? Because Russia is a far bigger country, just like he said, 150 million people to 5 million people. I don't know if that's the absolute numbers, but still, I'm going to give you some numbers right now because it's kind of interesting. It had me thinking, which country is the best when it comes to fighting? Of course, numbers talk. And when we're talking about fighting, we're not talking about boxing. We're talking about mixed martial arts. And when it comes to that, the #1 show in town where it really matters, where you want to be the champion, is the UFC. And maybe one day you get one of those bad boys. Hall of Fame, baby. Anyway, so I'm going to take you through a list of the countries and we're going to name the champions and you can play along because I don't know them all either. So coming in at number 6, there's a bunch of countries that only had one champion. South Africa, Dricus du Plessis. Czech Republic, Jiří Procházka. France, of course, Cyril Gane, so we're counting interim champs. Cameroon, obviously Francis Ngannou. Belarus, that is Andrei Orlovsky. Kyrgyzstan, Valentina Shevchenko. Ireland, only one champ with Conor McGregor. And China, with only one champ, of course, Zhang Weili. So that's number 6. When it comes to number 5 on the list of countries with the most champions, okay, there's a bunch of countries with 2. It says Japan has 2 champions. For the life of me, I can't think who they are. I know Kazushi Sakuraba. I think he was a champion back in the day. And I've even looked it up on Google. According to Wikipedia, there was 2 individual UFC champions hailing from Japan. If you know who the second one is, please let me know. And then the other countries with 2 champions is Poland, which is Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Jan Blachowicz. The Netherlands, I know Bas Rutten was a champion. Do you know who the other champion in the UFC coming from Holland is, or the Netherlands, okay? Because I have no idea. Georgia has 2 champs, of course, Ilya Saporia and Marab Davalishvili. Australia has 2 champs with Whittaker and Volkanovski. Nigeria's got 2, of course, Usman, the Nigerian nightmare, and of course, Israel Adesanya, the style bender. Now, number 4 on the list, right? There's a few countries. In fact, there's 2 countries with 3 champs. England, of course, Leon Edwards, great champ. Tom Aspinall, interim heavyweight champ. And of course, I was the first one to get it done in the UK as well. So there's 3 there. When it comes to Mexico, 3 champs from Mexico. Honestly, without Googling it off the top of my head, I don't know who they are. Are they counting Cain Velasquez as a Mexican champ? Oh, of course, Alexa Grasso, that's another one. I mean, if we're counting Kane, that's 2. I'm not sure who the 3rd is. Please let me know, okay? And then now we get down to the good stuff, right? Russia, number 3 on the list. Number 3, only had 4 champs. They are Khabib Nurmagomedov, Islam Makhachev, Piotr Yan, that's 3. Are they counting Andrei Arlovski? He's from Belarus. That might be 4, unless there's one that I'm missing. That's the only 4 that I can think of. So the whole point with Ireland only having 1 and Russia having 4 champs, I mean, there you go there. But still, who cares about that? I'm just interested in who has the most champs. Number 2 on the list, of course, is Brazil. Brazil has been producing so many great fighters in the UFC for years. Mixed martial arts, as we know, kind of started in Brazil back in the day. Originally, it was called Vale Tudo, which means no holds barred, essentially. Anything goes. And of course, they had the first ever UFC champion with Royce Gracie. But over the years, I mean, they have dominated almost, other than one other country. Can you guess who that is yet? But over the years, I mean, legendary fighters, Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo Jr., Dos Santos, Renan Barão, Rickson Gracie, Royce Gracie, Glover Teixeira, Rafael Dos Santos, Fabrizio Verdum, Lyoto Machida, Amanda Nunes, Charles Oliveira.
1 hour later.
I could go on all day, but I won't, because there's 22 of them. And of course, the number 1 planet on the country when it comes to producing UFC champions is, of course, the United States of America. No surprise there. It is an American-based sport. Wrestling has been dominant for so long, and the amount of champions that come from America is 72, okay? So 1, USA, 2, Brazil, 3, Russia, 4, Mexico and England, and number 5, there's loads of others, number 5 and 6.
Who the hell cares?
But still, there it is. Habib's talking a lot of shit, right? And they have got a lot of people. And I'm not talking about Russia, okay? I know the Russians coming after me, and I'm a big fan of everything the Nurmagomedov family does. I really am. I think they're incredible. Islam Makhachev is unreal. Habib, I just love the way that he's carried himself over the course of his career. But 4-1 in terms of a population, it's not that bad when it comes to Ireland and Russia. But England being represented, number 4 on the list, myself, Leon, and Big Tom flying the flag. Well done to Brazil and, of course, United States of America. But still, what do you think of that? Khabib Nurmagomedov just on Ireland because he doesn't like Conor McGregor. And, of course, he doesn't like Paul Hughes right now because his student and his cousin is going up against him. But you can't blame the man, right? He's very patriotic, as we all should be. And secondly, his student and his cousin is fighting somebody from Ireland. So right now, it's like, screw Ireland, okay? They're down here and we're up here. And that's the kind of mindset that you've got to go in. But what do you think about everything I just said? Let me know in the comment section, please. Are you surprised by some of those stats? Are you surprised to see England at number 4 in the list when it comes to producing UFC champs? Are you surprised that Russia, this surprises me, are you surprised that Russia has only produced 1 more UFC champion than little old UK, of course? USA with 72 and Brazil with 22. But let me know what you think about all of that. Please subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't done so. And yeah, I'll see you soon.